Hey guys, good morning. Happy Saturday. It's Daryl here. It is 9 a.m. here in Connecticut on the East Coast. And yes, I just got back from a walk and I'm so fired up and enthused about this video. I didn't even want to take time to slow down to change. All right, I want to talk about disinformation, rhetoric, propaganda, the future of the truth. While I was on my walk, let me tell you about how this thought process came about. I was thinking about the last video I made about socialism, fascism. I was thinking about how Trump supporters make it sound like that Hitler was socialist or something. They confuse everything altogether. And I thought about the last 4 years with Trump and his alternate truth. I remember that's what we first started calling it back in 2017. His spokeswoman there, Kelly Conway, was it? The alternate truth, is that what it was called? And I started to think about how maybe children, how they should teach, maybe they should teach in school history about some of the most important things in our history, like slavery, the Holocaust. So many people these days have this. There's this movement. I've seen a few polls where they ask people how many people have seen disinformation about the Holocaust, and it's truly alarming. I can't even remember. It was 30 million people. Was it that Jews that were killed? Slavery, the Holocaust, and the colonization of America and the genocide of millions of Native Americans. These three things came to mind about how it would be important to teach kids in school this for the future. You know, those who don't learn from our history are condemned to repeat it, kind of thing. And I started to think about how easily reality has changed. The narrative is changed, and the history of it, propaganda. I thought all the way back to the Salem witch trials and the disinformation. Well, none of us really know the true story of what really happened back then, but we start to get an idea of what occurred and how this has gone all through history. But then I started thinking about lately, the last 10, 15 years or so, and how it's become dangerous. You could actually weaponize disinformation. How technology has changed so that you can't tell the difference between somebody's voice, what somebody's saying. You can't tell the difference whether it was first it started with a picture, now it's video. And I think we have to realize that there's going to be an element in the future that are going to weaponize this. I started thinking about this. What if a country was able to, what if we took it to a level where you couldn't tell? We're pretty close to it right now with holograms. What if holograms were you couldn't discern between a real person and a hologram? We're probably not that far off at all. Okay, I don't want to pick on any one country, but if I'm going to pick on a country, how about North Korea? What if North Korea came out and showed all of its millions of people the president of our country? Let's say it's Joe Biden. What if they say, well, I mean, I am saying Joe Biden is the president, but is going to be the president. Anyway, they show say they have a hologram showing Joe Biden beheading a North Korean or burning their flag, beheading somebody, and then, death to, what if they showed something very inflammatory, and it looked like the president? It showed it to the whole country. That would be a stronger weapon than maybe a nuclear bomb. You could have that, and this could happen in any country, Russia, China, or whatever. The people could be instantly, turned into a massive, the whole country into an army. And I started thinking about this, the future of this. And so I started thinking about how could we combat this in the future. I think maybe the next multi-billionaire company or person might be able to come up with a technology that would be able to discern. If we have the technology to make these holograms undiscernible from the real people, then we're smart enough to have the technology to make the technology to fight against it. That's my theory. And I think that's something maybe we should think about concentrating on, particularly with these last 4 years and the way that this president influenced 70 million people to believe daily lies. I think we realized how some personalities, some characteristics, some people with certain characteristics are easily influenced by these cult of personalities, and how we could combat this in the future, how we could discern. Fact checking might become extremely important in the future. Real-time fact checking. And again, some kind of technology that could tell real-time events, real-time audio, visual, real people all at once, putting them all in unison. And so this is a real event happening in real time, or it did happen in real time with real audio. Like I said, I don't think this. I'm sure somebody somewhere has thought of this technology where you could easily put software on a film over something where you'd be able to tell if everything matches. You know, it's not a hologram, it's a real person, or real audio, or real visual. Just some ideas in the future, because like I said, after these last 4 years, we see how dangerous disinformation is. And it's been that way all through history. You know, like I said, going all the way back to God knows when. To Satan. You know, if you aren't an atheist, it goes all the way back to then. But if we're able to lie that good, we must be able to also be able to discern the truth. So I think in the future that might be one of our greatest threats: disinformation, propaganda, whatever you want to call it, alternate truths. We've seen it more and more over these last 4 years, and I don't think Trump's going away anytime soon, or Trumpism, and I'm willing to bet there's going to be a lot more of it coming up. All right, just some thoughts this Saturday. You guys have a good Saturday.